Hey there everybody, I'm going to start this video a little differently and tell you right away who I'm dedicating it to. I'm dedicating this video to my best friend Shanna. Alright, we already established how to pronounce her name. See, what used to happen is that I used to mispronounce her name. I used to say Shanna. And she explained to me that an easy way to remember is that Shanna rhymes with banana. And where does that come from? Anyway, I'm gonna make Shanna... Okay, that's enough of that. Anyway, I'm going to make Shanna a delicious salmon. Now, I asked Shanna if she likes salmon, and she said she's never had it before because she's not a big fan of shellfish. And that's good because, as you remember, I can't eat shellfish either. So what? Yeah, that's just what I was getting to. See, salmon is not shellfish, but I'm gonna make things a little more special by making sockeye salmon. So what's the difference between sockeye salmon and other salmon? Well, sockeye salmon is cut a little thinner, and it is quite smaller than the other salmon. In fact, if you order one piece of sockeye salmon in a restaurant and they brought it to you, well, not if you'd order that, but if you ordered sockeye salmon and they brought you one piece, you'd probably ask the server to please bring the rest of it. Anyway, let's get what? No, that doesn't mean you can sock me in the eye. Quit offering to do that. Anyway, let's get started. Now you'll notice that the fish isn't on my wax paper yet, it's actually on the cutting board. That's because I'm about to cut the skin off the fish. Why? Well, if you leave skin on fish before you fry it, it has to be absolutely crispy, the skin that is. And that's something that even seasoned chefs have trouble with. I'll show you how to do that one day, but as for right now, let's remove the skin. That is more like it. And you'll notice it has the usual seasonings on there. You know, black pepper, seafood seasoning, and seasoning salt. Oh, that reminds me. Had to clean my hands because I just touched raw protein. But seasoning salt, I actually make my own now. What? What's in it? Seasonings and salt. Anyway, we're gonna cook this the same amount of times that we're gonna cook the tilapia, and I didn't think it would work out that way, but it turns out it actually does. So we're gonna take our fish spatula. Yes, I actually have a real fish spatula now. Anyway, actually, before I get to the salmon, I was thinking, just serving salmon by itself would be kind of boring. It needs something else to go with it. Now, what should I make with? Oh, you know what? I remember a few months ago, my mother and I went to see this world-class chef, a different world-class chef, serving some protein over a bed of grits. And, I was thinking, I haven't made grits in a few years, maybe. But that's okay because I kind of tweaked my recipe, and I tweaked it to a point that even my mother will eat it. So what? No, I didn't mean that my mother wouldn't eat my cooking. I don't think that's the case. What I meant is that my mother doesn't like grits in general, but when it's creamy, or creamier rather, which is how I make it now, she will enjoy that. Now, there actually are a lot of different ways to make grits. Mine are pretty simple. I just use cornmeal, corn, milk, water, and seasonings. And then Why milk and water? Well, it's kind of trial and error, and this is one of the rare recipes that I actually do use milk and water. I usually use one or the other, but I tried, like I said, trial and error. I tried different ways of doing it and using a little bit of milk and a little bit of water, or actually it's a lot of bit of water and a little bit of milk. Is a lot of bit a word? No, actually it's two words, or maybe it's one hyphenated word. Anyway, I just found that milk and water, the combination works best. And as far as the corn, I know some people may want to think it's easier to just get some canned corn or even frozen corn kernels. But all you really need, you don't really need a whole bunch of corn to make one serving of grits anyway. All you really need to do is take a medium-sized corn cob and then just slice off one side. That's really all the corn you need. Of course, I'm gonna drain it first. And I understand that medium-sized corn cobs are kind of hard to come by. So if you see like a large standard corn cob, you can just cut maybe 3/4 of the side off. And if it's a mini corn cob, just use 2 sides of it. Now, grits don't take very long to cook, so I'm not gonna get that started until I finish or until I get halfway through the salmon cooking process. So let's go back to that real quick. 3 minutes on the first side and 2 minutes 30 seconds on the other side. But before I flip them, we're gonna get those grits going. Water, cornmeal, milk, and of course the corn. Then I'll add the seasonings and mix this all together. Okay, we put the grits down first. And then I'm gonna slide on the salmon slightly onto the top of... Actually, you know what? The salmon may still seem kind of plain, so maybe I should glaze it or, put some sauce on it. Why don't I... What kind of sauce? Mango cream sauce. You know, I like my cream sauces. You know, like that apple cider cream sauce I made for the pork steak. So I'll just get out some mango cider and it... Wait, I don't have any mango cider. Now, does mango cider even exist? It should. Hey, I'll make some. Just like I make apple cider. Wait. When I make apple cider, it takes a few hours. Until then, I can use some mango syrup. I don't have any of that either. Does that exist either? It can exist because it can exist. Well, anything can exist. But what I'm saying, it can exist because I can just caramelize some mangoes and then use that syrup in the sauce. Yeah, that'll work. So let's just get a fresh mango out and then we can, what? Can we just use frozen mango pieces because fresh mango is too hard to peel and chop? I don't know if it's really that hard to peel and chop. Besides, hard work wins out in the end. You know, on second thought, maybe you can use the frozen mango pieces if you want to. I'm not gonna knock you for that. But you've seen how I caramelize fruit, so let's just do that real quick. But like I said, we're going to actually reserve the syrup this time. Unlike how I tried to sneak leftover syrup from some of the cheesecake or shortcake cobbler videos. Okay, here's our mango cream sauce. Now let's build what? What are we supposed to do with the caramelized mangoes? Ooh, good question. Let's see. Well, you could put them in the fridge and you can save them for later. You can top some pancakes with it. You can put it in the middle of some stuffed French toast. Or you could stuff them into a little hand pie. Ooh, that's an idea. Gonna have to make that one day. Now then, let's build our plate. Grits, salmon, and mango cream sauce with parsley. Now that plate looks really empty. Maybe I can move some of the food over, or better yet, let's add some more things to it, like string beans. Now maybe one more thing. Candied apples. Now that's what I'm talking about. Now let's finally eat. So I guess we're gonna start with the salmon. And as I mentioned before, or maybe I didn't, fish cooked just right is so nice and flaky that you don't even need a knife for it. Look, come back. delicious, tangy, not too fishy. People say that complain that fish tastes too fishy if it's not cooked right, and I'm like, it's fish, it's supposed to be fishy. But I have had fish that was too fishy, and it's kind of hard to describe what that means exactly. You just have, if you try it, and then you'll understand it. But this is not too fishy, like I said. It is delicious, but let's try some with the grits. Oh, actually, you know what? One thing I forgot to mention before is that, I told you it's kind of a funny story. Like, my mother doesn't like eating grits, but at that place we went to with that other chef, and she had it was like a protein grits and all these other things. And it was a celebrity chef, by the way, which I hope to be one day. Anyway, she like cleaned her plate, and then she remarked something along the lines of, I'm glad I didn't bring the grits after her. I'm like, you just ate a plate full of grits. And my sister doesn't like grits either. Neither one of them like hot cereal. I mean, I know it's not the same thing as grits. And I like hot cereal. See, there's nothing better than not only just eating a bowl of hot cereal, then, wait, I'm getting off the subject. Let's get back to this. Fish and grits. Salmon and grits. Salmon and grits. Can't speak. Those grits are delicious. And if you're wondering why the grits don't look that creamy, basically, there are a lot of people that they take grits and they take the corn, they just like grind everything together. I really don't like doing it that way. I mean, not that it doesn't taste good, but I just like to have the corn kernels be prevalent or present, or so you can see the corn kernels. And we've all had string beans before, but gotta try everything. Oop. Delicious, nutritious haricot vert. It's just green beans. A lot of people want to be fancy and say haricot vert. A lot of people want to be fancy and say haricot vert, and that's the same thing as green beans. It's just what green beans is in French. I took French when I was in middle school and part of high school, actually. And of course I have to try everything, but I gotta dive into these candy apples now. See, the candy apples, I don't know if you even want to call it dessert or you can call it a side, but you go to a lot of restaurants and you see candy apples, and I mean, they come out as a side. I mean, whatever, candy apples are really delicious. It's kind of a guilty pleasure of mine. I forgot that it was. But anyway, I'm sure that, what? Where is dessert? Dessert after all this? Well, if you're still hungry, I suppose you can have a slice of peanut butter chocolate cake. What? No, this isn't actually cheesecake. This is just cake. Because a few weeks ago, there was National Peanut Butter Day, National Chocolate Day. You'd be amazed how many food days there actually are. And I wanted to make something for both of those days, but I really didn't have the time except for customers. And then I decided to just make the best of both worlds. But then I'm like, you know what? I've made chocolate cake plenty of times. I've made peanut butter cake plenty of times. And I haven't leaned over on the counter like this in a while. Anyway, I made peanut butter cake separately, chocolate cake separately, both times, or plenty of times rather, both times. And some people may think, why don't you just combine the two? Yeah, that's exactly what people were saying. And the thing is that doing that, it's not the easiest thing because the peanut butter cake and the chocolate cake cook at different speeds, so it wouldn't work that way. So I just tweaked it. I'm like, I hope this works. Thankfully it did. But there is a cream cheese and icing. It's peanut butter chocolate cream cheese icing. And I'm sure Shanna will also enjoy this. And she'll also enjoy the Sockeye salmon. What am I doing? Well, at the beginning of the video, you kept making that crazy sound effect that kind of sounded like socking. And I figured I'd do like this as a cue to, you can do it again this time, wouldn't bother me. But I guess that didn't work. Anyway, I'm sure, what? No, I don't need medication. Actually, I do take medication for my heart disease, but that's neither here nor there. Anyway, this is all delicious, and I'm pretty sure that Shannon will... That is going to do it. And in the usual place, you can find the recipes for everything except for the peanut butter chocolate cake and also the candied apples, because, you know, those are trade secrets. I mean, you can order the cake from me. The candied apples, I'm just gonna have to make for you. Sorry, you know, only my mother has the recipe. Anyway, thanks for being with me. I'll see you again soon. And you know what? I was planning to make a video back on New Year's Eve. I started to make a video, but what I was making just did not work out right, and it was frustrating. And like I've said in previous videos, that sometimes even seasoned cooks and chefs make mistakes, and it's like, you shouldn't feel bad if you make one. Just keep working at it until it gets better. What were you trying to make? Maybe I'll admit that to you one of these days. But the thing that disappointed me the most wasn't even that. It was the fact that I had a really good ending for that to celebrate the new year. Anyway, thanks for being with me. I'll see you again soon. And what? Why don't you just use the New Year's ending now? But it's nowhere near New Year's. It's February 4th. I don't know if I remember everything I said, but... Oh, I know what I was gonna do. I was gonna whistle. Thanks for being with me. I'll see you again soon. And Happy New Year! Oh yeah, I don't know how to whistle. Well, I could have bought one from the store or something. Oh, wait, I know how to whistle. I can do it a different way. Thanks for being with me. I'll see you again soon. And Happy New Year! Ow! Okay, I'm not supposed to actually eat my fingers. I'll see you again soon. You know, maybe I should have just said Happy Valentine's Day.